Alright guys, so I went ahead and pulled up the product page here on the Sideshow website. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the price point here. We're looking at $235. Again, I was waiting for Hot Toys to come out with a version, more of maybe a die-cast version. I believe all of this is plastic, but I needed him for my collection, so I decided just go ahead and pick it up for now. Hopefully Hot Toys will come out with a die-cast version eventually. I have no idea, but I'm tired of waiting on them to release one, so I just went ahead and picked up the Sideshow version. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at everything that it comes with. Doesn't look like he comes with much. You get a unique body with over 40 points of articulation. You also get some light up eyes with it, and you get magnetic training bolts, a Death Star communicator, and a figure base for this one. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the images. The images that they have up, it looks pretty nice, but again, I kind of wanted a die-cast version. I don't want a plastic version of this figure, especially if we're paying over $200. I would have liked something a little bit more like die-cast. I would be willing to spend the extra money if Hot Toys decided to put out a version as well, just to get a die-cast version. All right, so as you guys can see, he doesn't come with much accessories, but this is something that you would expect. I wouldn't expect C-3PO to come up to have a bunch of accessories with him. There he is with R2-D2. Some of the detail and paint applications look pretty nice. This looks like one plastic piece right here, but we'll get into that too once we look into the review. And then there's the box, and you get, looks like you just get a normal base with it. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just jump right into the unboxing and review. There's not much really to look at on the product page. It doesn't seem like he comes with much, so we'll just go ahead and jump right into it and see how he is. This is going to be your typical style shoebox that all of the Star Wars figures from Sideshow come with. You do get the black and gray different texture, but pretty much the same box style throughout all their Star Wars figures. If you go ahead and flip it over to the side, you do get this darker black and lighter black going throughout the side as well, with the Star Wars logo. Same thing for the other side. When you flip it over, you do get an image of C-3PO right here with all the legal information and information from Sideshow right there at the bottom. So let's go ahead and open this up. As soon as you open it up, you get another cool image right here of C-3PO. You get this black and white style right here on the side, and then you get the gold going throughout these two sides right here. All right, as soon as you take that off, you get all of the instruction manual and assembly manuals right here. We're just gonna go ahead and put that to the side right here, and then you do get a full view of C-3PO right here as you open it up. Let's see if there's anything else under this. And then right here on the second tray just looks like the standard base. And a couple other accessories that we'll go through here in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out of the packaging, and then we'll be right back. As you can see, this figure does not come with much, but we'll go ahead and go through the pieces that we actually came with. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at, I guess, is going to be the base here. The base is just your standard black hexagon style base that the Sideshow figures come with. We do have Star Wars logo here on the back, and some other information down here, but your pretty standard base. You also get the stand with it, pretty standard stand. Just stick that right in there, and then that'll help hold up your figure. The only other two accessories that they came with is these two right here. So what we're looking at is a Death Star communicator, which is this piece right here. Let me see if you guys can actually see that. You get some restraining bolts with it as well. So you only get two. This thing does just, it is magnetized on the back here, so it just sticks right here on the figure. But again, guys, this is pretty much all the accessories that it comes with. You don't really get much out of this figure. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the figure itself. So you do get some light up features in the eyes, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that first. One thing I want you guys to be extremely careful with is when you guys, so to use the batteries, you have to remove this head here. So when I was removing the head, I pulled it off and pulled this part with it, which was attached to these guys. This stuff broke fairly easy. Just make sure you do not pull that piece with it. All this stuff is not meant to come out with it. It's only supposed to detach the head. Since mine broke when I was pulling this apart, I just want to kind of forewarn you guys on what could happen. So go ahead and let's go ahead and remove this tab right here, and then put the piece back on there. It doesn't really bother me too much that I broke it, just because it sits on there still pretty well. Can't even really tell that it's broken, but again, guys, just be very, very careful when you guys are removing this. I don't know if you guys can see it now, but his eyes are lit up. There's a thing out here on the back. So if you tap right here, this turns it off and on for his eyes. I do think that's a pretty cool feature. There's no like on or off switch button. It's a cool gimmick that goes with these figures. Again, this is pretty fragile. It's not very I feel like I'm gonna break it. So all of this stuff is all plastic. I was trying to wait for Hot Toys version to come out with a diecast version, but it's been a really long time, and I really want this figure in my collection just to go with all my other figures, so I decided to just go ahead and get the Sideshow version for now. For your head movement, be very, very careful. It is pretty restrictive on how you can move it. You do have up and down here and side to side. This is a droid, so he's not going to have too much movement. Even in the movies, he didn't have that much movement for his entire body. So go ahead and take a look at some of the movement here in the arm. You don't get very much movement with it. Again, guys, I feel like I'm going to break this thing, so I'm trying to be extra careful than I normally am, just because I already broke this piece off it, which is I'm not really... I don't want to break anything else on this figure, just because it does feel like it's going to break. All right, movement in the wrist. You get pretty good movement in the wrist. That's something that's not too concerning. And then you also get some finger articulation movement here with the hand right there. Here on the leg, you get some right and left. Not very much movement back and forth. You get pretty good movement here, but again, you guys, this figure just doesn't move that well in the movie either, so I'm not too worried about it. He's going to be in a kind of a stiff pose anyway with the rest of the figures. I would just recommend just be super careful with this thing, just because I've said this many, many times, but I really feel like this is the only figure I've ever had that I feel like I'm actually going to break. All right, so if you look here in his stomach area, you do see all the wires here. This is all sculpted in. These are not actual wires that are going throughout his body. Everything there is just sculpted right in. I think the gold on this is beautifully done. You also get some dirt splatter down here at the bottom, which I think is a very nice touch throughout the figure. And you also get a lot of rust spots here, which I feel like the paint on these things are with the rust and the gold. That's probably the best part of this figure, is just the way that it's painted. And then you also get the silver leg here with you also get some of that dirt splatter going on that silver leg also. But if you look throughout the entire figure, you have some rust just in different areas, and then you have some darker around where the indents are, which I feel like for this type of figure, you would have some of that in real life. So I do want to congratulate them on doing a pretty awesome job on the paint applications. All right, guys, so this is pretty much it with the figure. I'll try to do a posing session with this guy too. Maybe I'll put some of the other figures together with it, just because I don't think we're going to get too many dynamic poses out of this guy. We're going to get they're all going to be pretty robotic type poses, but I'll do my best to see what we can get out of this. And I'll be right back and start posing this guy up. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the review on C-3PO. I would love a Hot Toys version or a diecast version to come out of this figure, but I decided to go ahead and pick this one up. This guy is extremely fragile. Make sure you guys didn't do what I did. When I tried to pull that head off, I actually broke that piece around his neck. Just be very careful on how you guys handle this figure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.